Good morning, people. What is going on? You are on the lifeboat. This is Captain Calhoun speaking. Good morning. Welcome in. Welcome in. We've got quite the day ahead of us, I have to say. I went and got my paints. Well, got some paints. Got quite a few paints. And I'm really excited to do some art later today. But for now, what's with all the hate? Yeah, guys, we're going to talk about love and hate today. Maybe in a way that we haven't before, but I think that it's very relevant. If connection is the opposite of addiction, why is that? Why are we connecting? What's the deal with these emotions, love and hate, this, that, and the other? Well, we're going to break it down. I'll tell you what. Surviving together. Good to see you, Millie the Dandelion, Galen, Body Illusion, Seventh Son, Shannon Smith. What's going on? I actually am receiving the most loving messages I've ever received as captain of the boat. So let that be said. There's not an abnormal amount of hate going around or anything. I just thought that was a good title to talk about hate because it's very relevant. It does seem to be the predominant of the two emotions that we run into in the wild. And when I say the wild, I mean the world, right? When we go out there and go about our business, I feel like I'm more prone to run into hate than I am to run into love. And maybe that's just my perspective. Maybe I'm trained to think that, right? I don't know. But the point is love is bad love is good and hate is bad. And we're going to tell you exactly why. ASAP Lizzie, what's going on? Samantha Askey, TKK, Mocked, Yarn Prepper. Heck yeah, guys. It's been a while since I've seen a lot of you. Tribe Called Duff, Sahuaro Christmas. Welcome back. Bit of a rough patch. Well, I hope things are turning around for you. Robin Miners, good morning. This coffee is amazing. I just cracked open a fresh bag this morning. I haven't seen Dale Cox yet, but I put some of his tincture in my coffee this morning, so I'm already spicy. I'm already getting spicy. Kelly Gerling, I really got into acrylic paint pouring when I got off Oxy. Great release. I'm really excited to do so. I've learned that my desk is kind of connected by cords over here. So that's like my walkway. So I'm just going to fan this side out. And then we get the light from the sun hitting the wall and hopefully my canvas right here. So we're just going to like shift to the side a little bit. And then I'll have a seat and a space to stand. It'll be great. And I even have Dad bringing over the cat cam. So just in case I need to. Matrix Rabbit, I've been thinking about you. Going to have to collab on some art if you're into it. I doing the art stream finally, long last. Millie the Dandelion, banging head, so not sure how long I'll be on, but will reply if I don't make it. Well, good luck. I myself am a professional headbanger, and I don't just mean to music. I definitely hit my head on walls a lot. It's like, oh, there's a wall there. I can't go this way. Okay, so good luck. I know the struggle. Jane Aldrich, what's going on? Yeah, we have hit 25,000, guys. I think that's more to do with my dad than to do with me. But hey, I shouldn't sell myself short, right? Yes, surviving together. Please do. I'm slowly scrolling up in the chat here. Please announce you're live. Seventh Son, what's going on, brother? It's been a while. I've got your skulls sitting on my little money altar over here, trying to summon in some more wealth. I was showing off the skulls you sent me to a friend of mine the other day. Sensational. All right, guys. I think that's roll call. Feisty Irish, good morning. All right. Yeah, guys, love and hate. Does it seem to you like they want to divide us? And when I say they, I mean anyone you see on TV, like anyone you see on the news, anyone that has a platform, really. And I guess that extends to creators as well, except I kind of feel like we're still underground, so we're not tainted by the mainstream feel, but we kind of are sometimes. But do you guys ever feel manipulated? Do you ever feel like the stuff that is shown to you on the screen is designed to like divide you and pit you against your brother and your sister? Because I feel like that a lot. And I don't want to make this about a conspiracy theory, but man, there is a lot of hate in the world. Is there not? Am I crazy? I know I'm not crazy. There's a lot of hate in the world, and it only serves to divide us. It does. So what's a good way to get into this? There's so much to say about love and hate. And I say a lot that love conquers all. And that's mostly in response to the amount of hate that I see. If we were to choose love instead of hate in the moment, especially when we're not feeling so hot, right? When the blood's boiling a little and our feet are to the fire, right? We're backed into a corner, whatever the case is. Choosing love in that moment is so powerful. And it's going to have an equal and opposite effect to what the hate would. So when I give in to my anger, usually things get broken. I create a situation that I then have to deal with, right? I make a mess that needs cleaning up. I hurt myself. I hurt someone else. I land myself in legal troubles. Bad things happen when I give in to anger, right? Or maybe it's just as small as I just say something that I regret, right? But it's smaller than legal trouble. But still, like, do I want to be representing myself that way? Do I want to take action that I'm going to have to go back and explain myself for? No, I do not. And on a very base level, this is the difference between love and hate. We got plenty of wrenches in here, Roberta. No worries, no sweat. I'm like 10 wrenches glued together with Gorilla Glue, so. I'm the multi-wrench. Candy, what's going on? Good to see you. Kellyanne, heck yeah, guys. Miss Dragon. I was cleaning one of your mugs the other day and the handle flew off. I was so sad. Luckily, I have like 3 of them, so. Exactly their purpose. And Facebook admitted to doing a study on if their feed could depress you. And you know, it's an interesting they do such a study when I feel like it's designed to do so. And if it's not designed to do so, they're at least actively allowing things to happen. Do you remember when the C+ math was going on? And there was all kinds of censorship started to happen on Facebook. They wouldn't let you post certain things with certain words. And they said it was, they quoted it as being false information or something like that, spreading rumors. I forget the words that they used. But that was a monumental moment. This doesn't have a ton to do with love and hate, but that was the first moment that I saw real life censorship in this country. I'm sure that it had been going on before, but like in the moment, real time, there's the platform telling me that what I'm saying is dangerous, and that had never happened to me before. That was pretty wild. And you know, I don't think that it stopped, so to speak. I think it evolved. I think that censorship is alive and well in this country for sure. That's why we have to dance around certain words on this channel, right? What's up with that? And I tell you what, if we can come to an understanding, when I say we, I just mean people, different people. If we can, like, we don't have to agree, but if we can understand each other, things work a lot better, right? If we can move and act in love rather than hate, right? Let's try and break down the difference a little bit for a second. Love is kind of like a blooming flower. It's like open, right? Hate is kind of like a wall, right? When I'm in a hateful mood, when I'm giving into any sort of negative emotion, really, like jealousy, anger, all of these things kind of fall under a hate umbrella. I'm putting up a wall. People are not allowed to come in, which we've talked a lot about boundaries, right? That may serve a purpose. Maybe your anger response, maybe your whatever response it is serving a purpose, right? But be aware that there is like I don't know how to talk about this without getting really hippy dippy. Maybe we just go for it. If you're surrounded by an imaginary bubble, it becomes very, very difficult to get inside of it when you're moving in those emotions. And if I let a little bit of love in, I kind of bloom and open up like a flower, and then I'm welcoming, right? I feel welcoming. And you can't deny that you can kind of feel, especially, I guess, I can't speak for non-empaths. I don't know what it's like to be that way, but you can kind of feel someone's prickles, you know, or you can kind of feel them relaxed and vulnerable. And when you express love and when you express hate, you're expressing the exact opposite feel to people. So if you want to connect, if the connection is the goal, if seeing through the other person's eyes, if understanding is the goal, then we want to move in love. We want to, especially in those moments when we're not feeling too hot, those moments are especially important because those are the moments when it's hard to express love, right? Well, the benefits of expressing love in those moments are much bigger, much greater, especially you'll end up surprising people. When the natural response is to get angry, but you turn the other cheek, or you take the high road, or you forgive but do not forget. These things leave a lasting impact, ripples, right? The butterfly effect, things that you do, simple mundane things like choosing love instead of anger in a moment, have such effects that you can't understand. Swiss Vapor, how's it going, guys? Welcome in. Kathy Ann. And I had like a whole idea of what I was going to say, and I have said none of it. We're just kind of going off on a tangent of love and hate, but that's fine. It feels powerful. It's coming from somewhere on high. Tammy Hinton, what's going on? Just because we disagree with someone, says Kellyanne, or don't like another person doesn't mean we have to hate them or see them as an enemy. Anger is okay, but what we do with it is the issue. My dad told me once, pray for your enemy. Because if everything was right in their world, they wouldn't be acting like that. And that really hit me hard. I've never forgot that. Some of the best advice I've ever been given. Shout out to my dad. He's the man. But yeah, this is so true. Just because we don't like someone or we disagree or they've rubbed us the wrong way, right? Even if they've wronged us, I guarantee you that wasn't their intention. And even if they intentionally did something mean to you, it's most likely a response to something going terribly wrong in their life, which doesn't make it okay, right? It doesn't excuse them. But understand that if they had the power, they wouldn't be that way, right? And I'm not saying that they don't have choice. What I'm saying is they're in a spot they can't see the way out of, right? And they're doing what they can. What they can kind of sucks, right? But understanding that has changed the way that I deal with people, has changed the way that I move through the world and carry myself. And I can't recommend similar practices enough. I feel great this morning, Barbie. I tell you what, I've been looking forward to doing this art stream so much. The anxiety of coming up with topics to do is kind of left me. I'm super comfortable. I feel like no matter what we're talking about, it's going to be just fine. Like I know what the boat's doing. I know what the boat's about. I'm not going to ever let it get away from our core, right? Our core purpose. We might dibble and dabble, right? Diddle and dance. I don't know why I said diddle. That's kind of funny in light of the stuff that's going on. But, I'm becoming very, very comfortable. So there's that as well. Painting, yes, we're going to do an art stream later. Other Restrained, welcome in, by the way. I saw you earlier. I don't know if I said your name. I feel like I forgot to, though. But yeah, my buddy has been getting into Warhammer, which is a super nerdy tabletop game where you build little action figures and then paint them and then play with them. So I figured I don't know anything about painting, so I should probably get familiar. And it's an opportunity to build habits and hobbies in real time with the crew, which is what we talk about a lot, especially in early recovery, in any spot on your recovery journey. Art or some sort of outlet, some sort of hobby is going to serve you very well. And a physical hobby is extra beneficial because it gets the chemicals moving in your brain, right? But this is going to serve very well. This is something like I don't know anything about painting, but I can do it. And you guys can do it too. It's something that we can do together. I was thinking about other hobbies that we can do together, other things that we can explore and learn together. And, music's weird. Like, am I going to be on here with a guitar and play to you? I don't think that has the same magic, right? You can't necessarily go buy a guitar and sit down and play along with me, right? But you can get some paints, and do your own thing while I'm doing my thing. That's absolutely a thing. Matrix does the resin. I don't know what goes into the resin, but that also may be something that we can do together, right? So I'm trying to come up with different hobbies that we can play around with in some free time. Because I think that if you don't have a hobby, right, like Blessed Crochet does the crocheting. A lot of you, I'm sure, have hobbies, especially because y'all are, having a modicum of success in your recovery. So you must have some hobbies. Otherwise, I don't think you'd be doing so well. But I'm trying to come up with other ideas because I think it's a great plan, right? Why have we not been doing this the whole time? Kristen Melinda, enamel paints for figurines, but acrylic is what I do on canvas. Interesting. I'll have to look into enamel paint. I'm pretty sure that the community at large, the Warhammer community, uses acrylic paints, but I might be completely wrong. because I am brand new. So I wonder, enamel does sound fun. Can we knit, or you can do whatever you'd like during my stream, Yarn Prepper. In fact, you definitely don't even have to paint. Just hang out, right? Because we're also, while I'm painting, we're going to be talking about lifeboat stuff. We're going to be talking about happy little trees and, you know, babbling brook and all kinds of stuff. But also, we're going to talk about lifeboat-centric topics. I was watching one of the Tarkov streamers that I follow, watching his stream one day, and he decided to have an art stream where he was playing Tarkov and painting. And he'll sit in like a spot and wait for someone to come by. So he'll be painting with his headphones on, and he'll like hear the audio of someone running, and he'll be like, oh no, and he'll sit down real quick and like kill him and then go back to painting. It was really funny, but it inspired me, because we can do that too without the game, without the video games, right? We can literally paint and talk about whatever. So I think it's the coolest idea I've ever had, honestly. Sandra Ferguson, what's going on? We could do a contest. This initial stream is definitely going to be just chilling, but definitely a fun idea. I like that a lot. What's going on, Dale Cox? I don't know if you're already partaking, but I've got some tincture in my coffee this morning. I had so much fun yesterday, and I really needed a wake up this morning. So maybe also the glow you're noticing is my morning tincture. Brianna Miller's boyfriend has been hardcore getting into Warhammer lore. He's been reading all the books, obsessed to say the least. Did he get into it because of the new video game? Because I've been looking at that game, and I can't afford it right now, but I bet you it goes on sale for Black Friday. Yes, just like Bob Ross, Tammy Hinton, exactly. And I don't have a Bob Ross wig, but I am going to put a wig on. It's just not going to be the fluffy afro that he's got, unfortunately. I've got some wigs laying around, but none of them fit the Bob Ross bill. So we're going to do like, we're going to do Axl Ross. Wait till you guys see the wig. Oh my. Swiss Vape, do you Warhammer? Shout out to all my Warhammer folks out there, huh? Warhammer are plastic. They are plastic. Although, dude, like a metal figurine for like one of your big bad tanks or something, that would be super cool. Moe, what's going on? Hobbies can be a lifeline. Gardening gave me purpose during cancer treatment. Absolutely. I'm so glad to hear that. Gardening is something else that I've wanted to get into for a long time, and it just hasn't happened yet. Yarn Prepper says, Spanx, I knit or crochet anyway during your show. Knitting today. What are you knitting us? Or what are you knitting for yourself, Yarn Prepper? What's the current project? My grandma's constantly doing watercolors and knitting like baby blankets, and it is a part of her. I couldn't imagine Graham not doing those things. I tell you what, while she's watching her Special Victims Unit, you know, or Murder, She Wrote, or whatever it is, I used to hang out with Grandma a lot and watch shows, and I would never be knitting or crocheting, but I was always hanging out with Grandma while she did. Is he still on PBS? That is awesome. What a life-changing man. I tell you what, Bob Ross, shout out to Bob Ross, the great and powerful Bob Ross. I'm supposed to be talking about love and hate, guys, but I'm having a hard time. We're just having so much fun chatting. Is that mug available in the merch store? I already have the colorful one. No, this one was sent to me by a friend. I'm trying to remember who sent me this. Someone on the crew sent me this, though. It might have been Barb. I can't remember. I should. So the merch store is getting a facelift right now. We have a couple things on there. But I just got like a new program to help me edit art and stuff and graphic design and whatnot. So the stuff coming up on the merch should be cleaner, better, more thought out. I honestly don't know what was wrong with the last stuff, but there was obviously something wrong with it because it wasn't very popular. So I'm taking a second look at the merch, and hopefully I can hit the mark this time. So far, we've got 2 shirts, and I didn't take the Limerence mug down, but I'm going to. Happy Little Mints, that's so funny. Knitting dishcloths for my private craft fair. Okay. Maybe I should get into knitting because I need some dishcloths and some towels and whatnot. It's the things that you don't think about that you need when you get your own place. I tell you what. You seen the wig online? Do you want it? I'm a wig aficionado. I do want it. I cannot lie, Zarina. I would not tell a lie. So satisfying. I started doing it when Grammy passed, as her gardens were her thing. I love thrifting. I'm not entirely sure. I think I understand what you're saying. I love wigs as well, but I don't have like a collection. I love dressing up. There's not enough opportunity to dress up and not like get the weird looks. You know what I mean? I either dress up for Halloween or like a party, or when I go to my hippy dippy gatherings, it's always okay to dress up. But if it was acceptable, I would dress every day. Magic of Healing, Jimena, welcome in. Oh, you want the mug? Well, I will. Bet you I can get this done. I bet you I can make a mug just like this. The program I got, and that allows me to do a whole lot of stuff, and it's got a sharp learning curve, but I think I've got it. Ben Bacon Bits, good Lord, spent over an hour on the phone on hold with Southwest Gas trying to get info on a gas line for a silly abomination. Don't you know you're supposed to call Blue Steak before digging, dude? Silly abomination of a map, only to have them give me another number. Yeah, I don't envy your position this morning, Ben. I'm so sorry to hear that, dude. This is one of my least favorite things in the whole world is being on the phone with customer service, being on hold and being transferred. It's nobody's fault. Nobody wants to take responsibility. It's crazy. I hated doing that. Hook it up, Sarina. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I'm going to wear the crap out of it. And we're not just going to have one art stream, by the way. I have a lot of paint. When I finally get into the Warhammer, which they're expensive little action figures, I'm questioning the intelligence of getting into Warhammer. But having things to do with my buddy Hunter is always a boon. But yeah, once I get into it, I'll probably paint some figurines on here too. Finally was able to make a live. Wanted to say hi, my dear Spanx and crew. I'm so happy you're here, Jimena. I have been so busy. I've been meaning to text you back, and I haven't, and I apologize. I'm sure you're not taking it personal or anything, but I like to be prompt and attentive. Allegedly. Did you like that shirt, Kristen? I struggled making that. I have to say the musical notes were very difficult to get the way I wanted them. And I have to say they did not end up how I wanted them. It's just how they ended up. And I think it's fine. But I would much have preferred it to be a different way. But it looks good, right? I thought it was pretty sweet. I finally got to hear my dad sing that word. Victoria. Welcome in, Victoria. Hello, hello. Flick Fox. Wow, guys. It's good to see all of you. Squirrel in a pocket. Little bit. Okay. Well, I'll have to keep you apprised of what I've got going on, man. Maybe I can get some tips from you. Tamiya enamel paint works best. I'm writing this down. Might have to take some tips when it comes down to getting landscapes going, man. Because we're just starting out. My buddy Hunter got some rat people. And I'm probably going to get somebody that worships the blood god, probably. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I'll do the Seraphon because they're like toad lizard people. I like lizards. So maybe I'll do the lizard people. I did buy this color specifically for toad people. So we'll see what the store has. What are we doing here? Tamiya enamel paint. All right, getting some tips. I'm super far up in chat, scrolling. I will definitely, thank you for letting me know, Others Restrained. I will definitely look into it. I definitely, especially if I'm going to spend the money that these action figures cost, I'm going to have to make sure I'm not going to screw them up. And then putting them together, I don't want them to like break, right? Because then I'm literally... Like if I'm not already wasting my money by spending it on action figures, I'm definitely wasting it if I break the action figures. So I definitely want to make sure That's the part of the intimidation is like there's this paywall you have to get through, and then like you have to paint your stuff. So if I do a bad job, there's like this anxiety, this fear of screwing it up. So I definitely want to. That's one of the reasons we're doing the paint stream. Often does hatred hurt itself. Let's go. Shout out to Gandalf. But yeah, guys, let's come back to some love and hate for a second. I feel like I'm not doing a good job of doing my show here, even though it doesn't really matter. Don't be divided, right? That doesn't mean that everyone needs to be your person, right? Some people are not for you. There's a purpose and boundaries, but let's err on the side of love rather than hate. If we want to affect the world for good, right? Which we should, because every single one of us, if we're doing little spiteful, hateful things, the world around us is going to be hateful and spiteful, right? And it might just, I'm not entirely sure how this phenomenon works. It might just be for you. It might be perspective based. But I know that when I'm moving in love and acting in love, the world seems to be a more loving place. And I don't know if like my actions are actually having power or if it's just the way that my brain is looking at stuff because it's what it's used to experiencing. Either way, it doesn't matter because love is better than hate, right? If we can move in love, as often as we can turn negative feelings into positive feelings, anything that falls under that hate umbrella, right? Anger, anxiety, even jealousy, greed. If we can turn any of these things into a positive, something that falls under the love umbrella, like joy, kindness, empathy. I'm missing out. There's a ton of emotions on the spectrum. One day we'll pull up a little chart and we'll draw it out in the Paint app. But anytime we can turn a negative emotion into a positive one, we are winning big. Not only are we changing what's going on inside of us, but we're giving an opportunity for someone else or another situation to also respond with love. We're setting a good example and we're literally changing our environment by doing so. And again, it might just be the way that I'm viewing my environment, but it doesn't matter. Either way, the result is the same. The world either is or seems more loving, which is better. It's better. It's a better place to be. It's more comfortable. It's more safe, right? It feels better. Magic of Healing Jimena says it's because you're in a higher vibration, and that is what you attract now. Like attracts like. I'm glad you're functioning like that. Hell yeah, Jimena. I say a lot that our friends will notice before we do. The changes in us. And that sounds like exactly what's going on here, huh? Because I feel pretty much the same. I mean, I feel good. I have good days and bad days. Today's a good day, right? But I don't feel like a crazy psychic shift has happened, huh? Remember, there's no right or wrong in art. It's all free flow. And the arena mistakes, just interpretations. Absolutely. And yeah, it's my art. It's not for you. It's for me. That's how I look at it. Like, you don't have to like or understand it because I like it and I do understand it. Jimena says we are programmed to focus on the negative, but we can start trying to change that mindset to a positive one. And if we start with that mindset, then the view of your life changes. Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You get it? You get it? Yeah, you get it. Is Dale still in here? I might need some more tincture in here. It's starting to, maybe I didn't mix it up when I got it all in the first few sips. It was extra fruity on the what I put into my coffee this morning. You probably can't see me putting it in because of that text box, huh? Well, I put some in. The smell of it is always like, it's been a while since I've had a habanero other restrained. I did some shopping yesterday for groceries and I forgot vegetables. So I got to go get taco stuff and pepper stuff. And I want to make some stuffed peppers. I've never done it before, but it's one of the most delicious things I've ever had in my life every time I have it. So I want to figure out how to make it myself so that I can just treat myself. Mocked says it's because we see the world through a filter, and if you allow the magic and opportunities to be visible, you're going to attract a better, nicer world around you, 100%. And I try not to pretend that I understand exactly how things work, right? But that doesn't mean like I don't see certain patterns and like certain things repeating themselves. I don't have to have all the secrets of the universe to like move through the world effectively, right? And I have to say, throughout my life, my path has been obstructed by everything you could possibly think of. So and a lot of the time I have been on my own. I did have help, right? I don't think I'd be here without the help of my family and the kindness of strangers. But I often definitely had to navigate by my lonesome. So I have found ways to be okay in the face of enormous trauma, um, and immense adversity. So for what it is, take it with a grain of salt. But these concepts are the reason I'm still here. These concepts have literally brought me to you. So whatever you think. Kellyanne says, sometimes I think the people who grade us the wrong way are like sandpaper polishing us smooth. I don't know why I thought of this, but there was a Mythbusters episode where they tried to polish a turd. Turns out you can't. That was a very strange, random thought, but turns out you cannot do that. It just disintegrates. Samantha Askey, just off the phone. A friend feeling abandoned by the health service. She is in far better frame of mind now. Thanks for your positivity. Always welcome. Samantha, thank you for your service. Thank you for acting in love, literally moving in love and being there for your friend. I have to say, sometimes all I need is someone to listen and talk to, right? So sometimes all I need is I just need to express what I'm going through and have someone that there to understand and listen. I tell you what, it makes a huge difference, and you're an angel for doing that. And it's little acts like this, choosing to pick up that phone, even if you know what's coming and you don't want to do it, choosing to be there, right? And also, this is a good opportunity to talk about how much charge you have on your battery, how much you've got in the tank, right? If you don't have anything to give, don't do this, because then you'll end up in a very drained state. You'll end up in a worse position than when you started. But I literally, when I recharge my battery all the time, and part of that charge is literally allocated for stuff like this because of the benefit that it gives me. I think about this in advance. I'm like, all right, I have to do some service today, right? I need to use some of this energy that I've accumulated to do something good, something for someone else, something selfless. And if I'm not doing that regularly, I feel the difference. And I tell you what, when I'm feeling especially bad, I do something like this as a rule to bring me back. Because these kinds of things really, really serve the soul. And not only does it serve it does serve yourself, right? It makes you feel good. It serves your soul. It fulfills you, but you're literally serving someone else, right? Which is always a good thing. Scooby Lee, what's going on? Raditz. I'm the same Calhoun. I always feel better when my friends are happy. Hell yeah. Well, I'm glad you didn't necessarily say you were good, but you did say you feel better, which makes me happy. I had to take a second. I was like, wait a second. You didn't say you're doing good. Well, I hope you're doing really good. You can totally still buy a journal, Zarina. It is, let me find the exact link. It's on thelifeboat.live under products. Having the in the address, I don't think was very smart because I usually don't include the in certain things, but thelifeboat.live. Products. I need to attach the merch store to our website as well. All right, here is the link. I bet you someone beat me to it. Maybe not. Dale Cox had something to say. Hold on. Talking about tincture. The tincture is a lot hotter than the one I sent you, Spanx. Oh, is that the one you're doing? Yo, the one you sent me has teeth, bro. The one and I don't mean literally, but the one you sent me burns me up. So, I mean, I'm just not high up the totem pole. I'm glad you sent me what you did because it is edible. Yeah, it's really hot, but I can mess around. I can get with it. And I'm not saying that the super hot stuff I can't mess around with, but it's harder to play with. It's more of like I have to commit. Like the Grizzly Heat stuff. When I do that, I know what I'm in for. It's some serious, serious stuff. Not that this isn't serious, but there's levels for sure. Let's go, Scooby Lee. That's awesome. I love it. I love it when that happens. My cousin collected Ninja Turtle action figures when we were young, and I collected Gargoyle action figures. And I bet you, because they don't make them anymore, I bet you they're both worth a ton. I don't know if David still has his action figures, but my gargoyles bit the dust when I was a young man, in the service of the greater disease. But that's okay. The Matchbox cars also bit the dust for the same reason, but that's also okay. It's a part of my path. Gargoyle the cartoon, exactly, with Lisa Mazza. And I forget the gargoyles' names. Demona was the girlfriend turned villain, and then Goliath, yeah, and they were all named after parts of New York: Brooklyn, Bronx, Lexington, Hudson. I'm forgetting someone. No, I'm not. Is it really? I'm gonna have to go check it out. What a blast from the past. Miss Dragon says Gargoyles is on Disney Plus. I'm pretty sure I just got a free trial to that yesterday. So I'm going through my free trials. I don't usually they remember who you are. Maybe my information timed out because they gave me another one yesterday. I used to love Spawn back in the day, Miss Dragon. My dad took me on the motorcycle when I was very young. I think we lived in Utah. Must have been elementary school age. And I remember buying a Spawn action figure at Rite Aid, and was the most crazy looking action figure of all time. And then I didn't clean my room ever, and my action figure was like laying on the ground, and I stepped on it, and its little sword was attached to its fist, went into my foot. I mean, it didn't pierce me, but it hurt really bad and broke off. So then my Spawn action figure had a broken weapon. I was pretty sad. Yeah, the dog's name was Bronx. He was pretty cool, right? Scooby, did you hear about the controversy with Magic the Gathering? Apparently, so the commander, just TLDR, the commander format is really popular, and there was a committee outside of the company that makes MTG, Magic the Gathering, that was in charge of the rules. They were like fans. That very interesting situation. But the guy that started it, the guy that created Commander as a format, and the guy that was at the head of this little committee for the rules of Commander died. And then his friends that were on the committee made some changes, and the whole community exploded and were like, whoa, what the heck? And what they had done was they banned some cards that were basically very popular in every deck, and because of that, they were worth a lot of money. So a bunch of people had these cards that are now banned, and now their cards aren't worth anything because they're banned. So there was an uproar from the community, and then allegedly MTG, Wizards of the Coast, is the company that does Magic the Gathering. They said, you know what? To heck with this committee. You guys are dissolved, and we're going to be making the decisions about Commander moving forward. So the community kind of shot itself in the foot by getting real mad about it. And also, I think that the Commander committee kind of shot us all in the foot too by banning those cards. So it's interesting, little controversy going on. I can't remember what cards they were, but you probably know if you're into it. Yeah, that is exactly correct. It used to be called Elder Dragon Highlander. I think that's a way cooler name than Commander. Don't you? Like, I mean, it's obviously a cooler name. Elder Dragon Highlander. That's so cool. That's so funny, ASAP Lizzie. I was an only child until I was like 15. So I didn't get this experience, but I can imagine. I can definitely imagine having this experience with siblings because your space doesn't seem to be your own when you've got brothers and sisters running around, you know? Everything's kind of everybody's, which isn't how it is, but that's how it feels, right? Wow, it was a spicy swallow. Sim B, hello, hello, welcome in. Good to see you. Well, I wonder if there's anything else I can say about love and hate, guys. There probably is a billion things I could say. Hate breeds resentment and division and conflict. It can lead to violence, discrimination, and dehumanization, often does. And it hinders progress and empathy, right? So if we're intending to understand our fellow man and woman, if we're intending to move through the world with good in our heart, then hate's not for us. Love is the answer. Love fosters empathy, compassion, and understanding. Love transcends differences and hardship, right? Love is the great connector. It inspires growth and kindness as well. So we want to turn our negative emotions, everything that falls under that hate umbrella, into stuff that falls under the love umbrella. And the way we do that is through self-reflection, empathy. So self-reflection being journaling or in the moment, taking a step back mentally and wondering, okay, why is this happening? What is going on? What's driving me right now? Right? A little self-reflection. Empathy, meaning trying to see from someone else's perspective. With this one, I don't spend too much time doing that because I could drive myself crazy, right? But trying to get a little glimpse, just a brief look into, okay, they're probably acting like this because X, Y, or Z, right? This makes more sense. And it kind of disarms the situation, at least for me in my head. Forgiveness, right? Forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you. Forgiving someone heals you. So if you can find it in yourself to forgive, and I always say forgive, but do not forget, right? We don't want to set ourselves up for a second encounter or a second event that's negative, right? But we do want to forgive. Forgiveness is for yourself. We want to seek common ground, right? So by empathizing, we can possibly see some common ground we can both stand on. Always a positive. The rest of this is just basic stuff. I mean, if you're really struggling with this, counseling and therapy is, getting some professional help is, especially if I've got some pre-existing other conditions, which I do, right? Some mental health stuff going on. I probably want counseling and therapy. I want to practice patience in everything that I do because when I act quickly, that's when I react quickly, right? And if I'm reacting, I can't be being proactive. I can't act proactively when I'm reacting. Gratitude and service. I make sure to remind myself, especially when I'm struggling to move in love, I remind myself of what I'm grateful for, how far I've come, and that will also disarm whatever emotions are going on in my head. And at the end of the day, service is the trumper. Service is going to fix things. If you can do something selfless, not only are you going to serve someone else, but you're going to serve yourself by doing so. Kellyanne says, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Martin Luther King Jr. Wow, I've never heard that quote before. That's really cool. The line, TKK says the line between love and hate is fine as a strand of hair. In what way? Like in that it's easy to switch between them, or that they're like distant cousins? They know each other very well. I'm not entirely sure what you mean. It is one small step between love and hate, I guess. Hmm. Both sides of the same coin. I agree. The coin of passion. That does make a lot of sense when you put it that way. Dory Angel says, indifference is the kicker. Absolutely. If I don't care, how am I going to change anything? So that's something one of my exes said to me that stuck with me forever. I was smoking a lot of weed at the time. And she said to me once, if you're always stoned, if you're always happy, how are you ever going to change anything in your life? And I had never considered that. I was intending to be stoned all the time, and that really shook me. Shout out to Sylvia. Thank you for that piece of knowledge. What a great name, Sylvia. Wharton Fissel, what's going on, big dog? Good to see you. Question, remember when Usher's ex took him to court for giving her herpes? I do not remember this. Do you believe that some of these victims caught it and this is part of their evidence to prove that they were assaulted by Diddy? I don't know. This is definitely not what we're talking about right now. But if you can track where a venereal disease came from, it is good enough as evidence, in my opinion. I don't know how the court feels, but I mean, if you can conclusively, scientifically say that this came from this person, and then you can construe that that it was non-consensual, then we have an issue, right? So I think that this is not far off reality. I think this is totally possible. Linda JD Mackey, welcome in. We're probably going to be getting a lot of true crime stuff coming up, I have to say. I'm actually surprised that this is the first comment on the goings-ons. I was expecting to get a lot more, but that's all right. Thanks for asking. Sarina says, I know that evidence holds up in New York. I imagine it holds up in a lot of places. I just don't have a conclusive answer for you. Contemplating my belly button, then I'll get along with my day. You know, Wharton, you and I are quite alike. This is how my day starts too, minus the puppy. It's hot. That is spicy. Mox says, anger isn't a bad thing if you use the energy to do something about it. Absolutely. It can be a great driver. It can be a great inspiration or motivator. But it's natural, at least for me, when I feel anger, it's not like a natural motivator, right? I mean, I guess it isn't. It naturally motivates me to do bad things. I have to redirect it into a productive manner, which is tricky, right? But it can be a very, very powerful emotion, especially when used for good, which is, again, it's a trick. It is very tricky to do so, but totally possible. And if you can get in the habit of doing so, of harnessing your anger for production, you will be a force to be reckoned with. That's for sure. It's something that I still struggle with 100%. Because when I get angry, I don't want to be productive. I want to sit and stew. There's something about negative emotions that are so attractive to my mind. I don't know if this is for everyone, but it's like my brain wants to hold on to them and not let them go. And it's damaging. It's damaging to me, but part of me just wants it so bad. I have to actively choose differently especially in those moments, because what's driving the ship wants blood and carnage, man. What's driving the ship wants people to suffer, which is crazy to think about, that those emotions are coming out of me, right? But it's true, it happens. Loving Failure, what's going on? Good to see you, brother. Welcome in. Wharton says, my good buddy completed my back fence yesterday. It's so nice. Now I can get past it onto my next projects. Let's go. That's a big win. I love a new fence. Anger is complex to handle, says Jimena. This is why you have to take a step back and see what it wants to teach you. Hey, there we go. I do like the method of receiving the message to move forward. It often disarms the situation for me. I have learned so much about myself when I'm angry, especially my boundaries. Interesting. I'm glad that things are going well for you, Jimena. It seems like you're going through some transformational stuff, I have to say. It's in my blood. My blood type is B positive. Let's go. Let's go. All right, guys, I think that's what I've got. Dirty Mouse, good to see you. Yin Yang. Hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications if you like what we do here. It certainly makes a difference, y'all. I'm going to prepare myself for the art stream. I'm really excited. I don't know what we're going to paint. Maybe I'll go with the classic Bob Ross, like little scene, like a little mountain in a stream or something. I don't know. But I've got all these paints, and I don't know how to use them. So we're going to figure it out. I'm thinking around noon. My dad's got something going on in an hour or less, I feel like. My dad's going to be doing something before noon, so check that out, and I'm going to be going a little bit after noon. That's the idea. I will post it with some time to spare so that, you know, the notifications will go out. I will totally attempt to paint some angry trees. We should explore the difference between an angry tree and a happy tree living failure. I wonder what it looks like. We're going to find out. But yeah, check me out. I'll make sure to post it with enough time so notifications go out so, you know, y'all don't miss it. But I'm thinking noon, 1, something like that. Right now it's 10 o'clock where I'm at, so give me a couple hours, a few hours. But yeah, my pops, the Admiral, will be here shortly with some true crime for you guys. Much love, everyone. Maimuna Ibrahim, good to see you. Dory Angel, it was nice to meet you today. Other Restrained, Wharton Fissel, Arabian Bard, all my friends. I'm not going to say all your names again, but I love you guys. I'm super glad to see you in here. And I will see you guys here in just a little bit. Treat yourself really good today, all right? And treat someone else nice as well.